This is an airplane engine. It's sitting in a field in Bishoftu, Ethiopia, part of the wreckage of Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302, which crashed on March 10, 2019. 157 people died. This was just a few months after another flight, Lion Air 610, crashed in Indonesia and killed 189 people. These two flights were operating the same plane, the Boeing 737 MAX 8, and its engine is the key to understanding why this particular plane has caused so many problems. But there's nothing actually wrong with this engine. In fact, airplane manufacturers raced to put them on their new planes. That's where the problem started. Hey everyone, welcome back to Modelworks. Today we're taking a deep dive into the story of the Boeing 737 MAX, an airplane that's been at the center of a lot of drama in the past few years. We'll be uncovering the plane's history, the tragic accidents that led to its grounding in March of 2019 through December 2020. In 2024, Boeing is fighting to re-engineer the Boeing 737 MAX to rebuild its credibility in the skies. So fasten your seatbelts because this is one wild ride. The genesis of innovation. The Boeing 737 has long been revered as a pinnacle of aviation excellence, tracing its origins back to 1967, when Boeing introduced this marvel as a successor to the renowned Boeing 727. With its pioneering design featuring just two engines mounted under the wings, the 737 revolutionized air travel, setting new standards of efficiency and performance in the skies. The Classic Series. Boeing launched the Classic Series with the 737-300 in 1984. Keeping commonality with earlier versions was the key here. This saved development and certification costs as well as time, and allowed airlines to mix fleets easily. Engines were upgraded with fuel efficiency improvements. Size options were widened too, with 3 different capacity variants. The largest of these, the 737-400, took the typical capacity up to 188. The next generation series, the Airbus A320, roared onto the scene in 1988, throwing down the gauntlet with its efficiency and fly-by-wire technology. Boeing wouldn't be left behind. Improvements in efficiency took another leap forward with the 737 Next Generation series, launched in 1993 but not entering service until 1997. This was motivated by the development of the Airbus A320. It entered service in 1988 and offered more efficiency, as well as full fly-by-wire operation. Again, the new series maintained commonality, but introduced upgraded and more efficient CFM56-7 engines, a redesigned wing, and cabin and cockpit improvements. The number of variants increased to 4, and the maximum capacity to 200 with the 737-900ER. The second largest variant, the 737-800, has gone on to become the best-selling so far, with its popular compromise of range and capacity, launching the 737 MAX. The Boeing 737 story took another thrilling turn in 2011 with the launch of the 737 MAX. This next-generation marvel promised to combine cutting-edge technology with classic Boeing reliability, all while keeping an eye on fuel efficiency. The Boeing 737 MAX series was announced in 2011 and was introduced in May 2017, with Indonesian airline Malindo Air as the launch customer. Like previous generations, the 737 MAX aimed to incorporate new technology and efficiency improvements whilst maintaining commonality. And like the NG, it also followed an upgrade from Airbus, this time the improved Airbus 320neo family, which Airbus launched in 2010, entering service in 2016. There's also a 737 MAX 200. This is based on the 737 MAX 8, but with an increased passenger capacity of 200. It has so far entered service with Ryanair and is on order with other airlines, including Vietjet Air and Akasa Air. Akasa Air has an impressive 52 aircraft on order. Efficiency improvements. Again, engines took a step up in performance and improvement with CFM International LEAP 1B engines for all variants. Boeing chose a larger fan diameter for these engines, which would further improve efficiency. But the larger size once again caused issues with its low ground clearance, leading to the lengthening of the nose landing gear and further forward placement of the power plants. The engine nacelles have chevrons added for noise reduction, much like the Boeing 787. Lion Air Flight 610, a tragedy strikes. On a sunny October day in 2018, a dream of innovation turned into a nightmare. Lion Air Flight 610, which was a Boeing 737 MAX 8 plane, crashed into the ocean near Indonesia soon after taking off from Jakarta, Indonesia. It was a massive shock because 189 people lost their lives, and this moment became super important in aviation history. When investigators looked into what happened, they found a really scary chain of events. It turned out that there were some problems with the sensors on the plane, and there was this thing called MCAS, indicating Maneuvering Characteristics Augmentation System, that didn't work right. Because of these issues, the plane ended up going down really fast. Everyone who studies airplanes was very worried about this crash, and they wanted to know if Boeing's new plane was really safe. But wait, the story doesn't stop there. Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302. Just 5 months later, on March 10, 2019, another Boeing 737 MAX 8 crashed, this time operated by Ethiopian Airlines. Flight 302 plummets to the earth shortly after takeoff from Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, claiming the lives of all 157 passengers and crew on board. The eerie similarities between the Ethiopian Airlines crash and the Lion Air tragedy send shockwaves across the globe. Once again, faulty MCAS activation is identified as a contributing factor, prompting swift action from aviation authorities. In the wake of the second crash, regulatory agencies around the world ground the Boeing 737 MAX fleet, citing safety concerns. It's a crushing blow for Boeing, with its flagship aircraft now facing intense scrutiny and public distrust. Passengers describe terror on doomed flight. Passengers on the Alaska Airlines 737 MAX that suffered a mid-air blowout in January of 2024 paint a harrowing picture of the event. Quang Tran and Hui Tran, seated near the missing door panel, reported a deafening explosion, followed by a terrifying rush of decompression. According to their lawyer, the sudden drop in pressure exposed passengers to the roar of wind and the frigid outside air. Adding to the horror, a family of 5 from California described fearing for their lives during the ordeal. The incident left them traumatized, and they are now undergoing counseling. The lawsuit filed on their behalf highlights the passengers' perspective, emphasizing the unimaginable fear and questioning how such a critical safety breach could have happened. They argue that properly installed bolts could have prevented the disaster and point to a failure in quality control as the culprit. Seatbelt saved 2 passengers. Imagine being sucked towards a gaping hole in a plane. That's the terrifying ordeal Quang Tran faced on Alaska Airlines Flight 1282 when a door panel blew out mid-flight. The force of the decompression ripped off his shoes and socks, yanking him towards the opening. Thankfully, his seatbelt held firm, preventing a tragedy. Tran, along with 6 other passengers, is suing the airlines and manufacturers for negligence, highlighting the crucial role seatbelts played in saving lives during this harrowing incident. Safety crisis. Well, safety issues have always been a concern for 737 MAX. In recent times, Boeing has faced a barrage of safety concerns, starting with a shocking incident on January 5th when a door panel blew off a Boeing 737 MAX 9 mid-flight from Oregon to California. United Airlines CEO Scott Kirby threatened to sever ties after his fleet of MAX 9 aircraft was grounded. Jennifer Homendy of the NTSB warned of potential further incidents due to production flaws. Subsequent emergencies included a cracked cockpit window, a lost front tire, and a fuel leak on different Boeing planes. These incidents, coupled with whistleblower John Barnett's testimony and untimely death on March 9, 2024, intensified scrutiny over Boeing's safety practices. Boeing's quest for redemption. Boeing finds itself at a critical juncture as it grapples with the fallout from the safety crisis. Pledging to address root causes, Boeing commits to rigorous inspections, system overhauls, and enhanced training. However, reports of potential engine malfunctions may prolong the 737 MAX's road to redemption. Amidst relentless scrutiny, Boeing faces demands for accountability and transparency. As the industry watches closely, safety remains paramount, driving Boeing's quest for redemption and shaping the future of aviation safety. Engine issues? The recent news of a potential engine glitch plaguing the Boeing 737 MAX has many wondering, is this the root cause of the recent grounding? While the issue is concerning, it's unlikely to be the sole factor behind the extended wait for the 737 MAX 7 and 10 variants to take flight. The newly discovered problem lies with the LEAP-1B engines, which could overheat and damage the engine itself. This is a serious concern, but it's important to remember the extensive grounding of the 737. MAX stemmed primarily from the MCAS software malfunction and subsequent crashes in 2018. The engine issue is a separate technical hurdle that Boeing needs to address before these newer MAX variants can be certified. So while the engine glitch adds another layer of complexity to the saga, it's not the main cause for the delay. Fixing the MCAS system and regaining public trust remain the primary challenges Boeing needs to overcome before the 737. MAX can truly get back on track. How Boeing responded. With all the 737 MAX planes grounded indefinitely, Boeing is in big trouble. People start doubting if Boeing really cares about safety, if the rules are being followed properly, and if they're being open about everything. To deal with the growing pressure, Boeing decides to do something about the problems with the 737 MAX. They promise to look at the MCAS system really closely, fix any issues with it, and give pilots more training to make sure everything is safe. But it's not going to be easy for them to make things right again. The challenges and setbacks. While Boeing was busy fixing the problems with the 737 MAX, they found another issue. In early 2024, people found out there might be problems with the plane's engines too. This means it will take even longer before all of the aircraft's safety concerns are fully addressed. According to recent reports from industry experts, it could take a whole year to fix the engine problem. This is not good news for Boeing, who are trying to convince everyone that the 737 MAX is safe again. It shows how much work needs to be done before airline pilots can fly the 737 MAX with confidence. The uncertain future of the MAX. The 737 MAX saga is a cautionary tale about the importance of safety in aviation. It's also a reminder that even the most advanced technology can have flaws. So, will the Boeing 737 MAX gain the public's trust again? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, passengers will be looking for clear answers and reassurances about the plane's safety before they willingly step on board. That's the end of today's video. Hope you found it informative. Feel free to share your opinion in the comments. Subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching Modelworks.